What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, ReadOptionAgency.com. 22 years selling full-time on eBay. It'll be 23 years in August, so don't ask what's going on. I've had a stressful day with Pee-wee and his seizures. He seems recovered now for the most part, not 100%. He's probably about 98% right now, so I'm letting him rest. I had to walk him down the stairs so he wouldn't fly and fall down the stairs. So I've got him within earshot if anything does happen. But I'm here midday. Did a little pulling. It's been kind of a slow day, but I'm like, well, let's go ahead and keep up with this stuff just in case I have a flood of sales later on, because we are at 3 p.m. right now, and the site's still been a mess. Server failures, and it's just a mess. So I'm only at $277 for the day. So I'm looking at about a $450 day, which is pretty crappy. Those are my crappier days. Yesterday did $718. Day before that, $693. I've been selling about over 50 items the last couple of days, 54 and 64. Today I'm at nothing compared. 21 items. So today is problematic day on eBay. But there's a lot of people complaining about it, as also yesterday, seeing all those issues. So big pain in the booty hole, but what you gonna do? The new store, I haven't pulled that. I'm gonna wait till later. I got about $50 in sales on there. One's only paid, and I got one I'm waiting for payment, so I'm gonna wait and pull that and do them together so it's on a scan form. So when I go to the post office, it's on a scan form together. So that's what I'm doing there, waiting and holding out there. But man, I'm just eBay's just killing. Well, everything's killing me today. Haven't got much done. I got some stuff drafted. I drafted all day yesterday, so today I was going to take pictures and stuff, but today is just, my whole day's been thrown off, so I'm just doing whatever today, just trying to get back into a rhythm. We do have things worked out. Our vet's actually on vacation this week. He won't be back till Monday. So we had another vet look over his paperwork and suggested we get back on the other seizure med along with these seizure meds for the next step, and then also start looking into a neurologist. So what do those cost compared to a vet? I'm afraid to go there, but going to have to go there because he's going to be worth any amount of money to make sure we can try to keep him in as best condition as we can for however long he's going to live for. So I want to make sure he gets to enjoy the happy puppy, innocent life that all puppies deserve. So but if he has another one between now and Monday, then I have to wait for my vet to get back because he's the one that saw him. So he's the only one that can write for a controlled substance. But if he has another one between now and Monday, she said I can just bring him in, another vet will look at him, and then be able to write a script early for him so we can get him started on that as soon as possible. So we do have another step in plan. It's been about 30 days between the last two sets he had. Today he had 5 different seizures, which that's the most. He's had 3 in one day, but he had about 5 in about an hour and a half's time. No, 4 in about an hour. And then it was probably about an hour later. No, actually, it was more than an hour later because I thought he was recovering. So I took a picture of him while he was laying in one of his favorite spots, and he was upside down. That in the past, when he's had seizures, is when you think when he starts to recover because he's comfortable again, and et cetera, et cetera. And then so I took the picture, went to the bathroom, got up, went over, started petting him, and he fell onto it. He got onto his side and lifted his head up. And then he started like staring into nothing again. I'm like, no. So he started seasoning with me, which is, I guess, is a good thing that I was at least there, because I got my music turned off today, or turned way down, so I can like listen. So if I hear any thuds, I can go running. So at least I was right there when number 5 started, because I have to put my hand underneath his head because his head slams up against the floor, and then his legs are frailing, and he's a powerful dog. So I'm scooting everything I can out of the way, trying to hold him in place while I got my hand underneath his head So it takes the impact on the floor instead of his head. So I don't know if there's any bruises today or not. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit red. But so I'm glad it at least happened there. But he's eaten. I'm taking him out. The last time I took him out, he kind of went over his boundaries because, like I teach all my dogs, my front yard boundaries, so they don't go into neighbors' yards and they don't go out into the street. So they know exactly how far they can go. So the first time I took him out, he kind of forgot his boundaries. I had to pull him back and say no. But then this last time I just took him out and he knew his boundaries again. So it's looking like he's not fully, he didn't stumble this time. He did stumble the last time. So he's almost recovered, and he's back to following me around the house. So he's back conscious and aware and what have you. So that's a good thing. I'm just trying to take him outside every hour because the seizures seem to happen after he's been laying for a period of time. A lot of them, actually 99% of them, happened in the mornings and between like 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. And then the other ones will happen if he's been laying for a while, like he was recouping, he was laying. He had another one. But on the couple of days when it happened midday, he was actually at the point where he was resting for quite, a while. And that's when those happen. So I'm just making sure I keep him up and active about every hour, just in case, So, plus it keeps his bladder empty, because when he has seizures, he pees on himself, and he'll walk around and try to poop somewhere. So if I don't, and he's out of it, so he don't know where he's at, where he's pooping. He just knows he's got to poop. So I try to get him outside. So we've had him poop in the house twice, but normally I can kind of just usher him outside, if you will, kind of lead him outside, shut the door, and then we try to recover outside so he can poop outside. But so today we were successful with the pooping outside. But we had a mess in the kitchen this morning with 4 in a row, as you can imagine. So taking him out every hour keeps that bladder empty also. So if he does have another one, the 5th one he had, he didn't, no pee came out. So I don't know if that's just because it wasn't so intense, or because I was keeping his bladder cleaned out. So either way, yeah. So, and then he slobbers a lot. So his all underneath here is all, I cleaned it up a little bit. So I got more cleaning to do. When he's fully recovered, I'll get him outside and get the hose on him, because he loves getting wet. So I'll get the hose on him, get some shampoo on him and stuff. So she's not too fond of getting wet. But I need to get her shampooed up too. So maybe I'll do it on a day when somebody's here to help me, so they can hold her, so I can get her lathered up too. But so that's where I'm at. Yeah. So been a rough day. Rough, pun intended there. Okay, now pun wasn't intended, but I liked it. There was a pun there. Rough day for him. So trying to get myself back on track to relaxing, I will. So I can get back to getting something done today. So I do got a few items here. I'm going to go ahead and get shipped up. So just thought I'd turn on the camera, let you know that, yeah, eBay is screwed again today. And an update on Pee-wee. So that's where I'm at. Thankfully, this didn't happen yesterday. I think yesterday, I was just in that weird state, or was that the day before? I don't even know now. Yeah, the day before, I was in that weird state of mind, because I would have been very overwhelmed with it, where in that state of mind, it just, everything, even sounds, overwhelmed me. So that situation happening on that day, that really would have probably sent me over the edge somehow, some way. Maybe not. I don't know. It would have had a hell of a lot more negative effect on me than it does. Because, my first instincts kick in is to make sure he's all right, take care of him, whatever. So, and now to try to swing that back to get some work done, James. Don't worry about him. He's recovered. If it's anything like the past, he will be fine. So just let it go. You can hear him if something happens. Let it go and just get back to work. Focus, get back focusing. It's very hard for me to focus. So when things take my focus away that major and it's something I have to keep listening for, it's very hard for me to get back on track. So got to try to do that. But let's ship some items. Not gonna talk too much about anything, I don't think. We'll find something to talk about. Always do. So we got 19 orders here. I think I got everything pulled. Let's find out. Purchase shipping labels. See if we got any international off the bat. We got a UK. So I'll save that for later. It's a Cabela's hat. I got another UK, a USMC shirt. United States, something. Marine Corps, maybe. So remove those two. So we can get some of the stuff shipped and relax a little bit, do something different, take my mind off of the day so far. Charlie Worsham rubber band CD, sold for $11. That's headed to North Carolina. But man, get off me finger. So yeah, it's been an eventful day. Richard. Boom, 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 boom. I started thinking, like, when I do, like, kind of, you know, just thinking, is there anything new I could do with videos? Just with everything that happened, you know, just kind of just seeing if there's another way to restructure or do something different. We got the Police Synchronicity CD that sold for $7, headed to Miami, Florida. And I'm like, maybe I should just, like, I do feel like I hold back a little bit on, like, my sarcasm. Maybe not that I hold back, but it feels like maybe I'm not in my sarcasm mood enough like I used to be. Like, growing up, we were sarcasm 24/7. And then you have, like, 2024 where there's so many offended people out there. You kind of have to watch what you say, because not everything you could joke about in the 80s, you could joke about today. So it's one of those things where you kind of, at least me, I got to kind of, not that I really watch what I say or police myself, I just try to be less sarcastic. And I'm like, you know what, that's really not me. And the people watching this video, my videos are all, you know, the generation older or the same generation when it comes to the majority of my content viewers, according to YouTube. Like, they would all get the same types of jokes that I would say. So be free to frickin' say whatever you want to say. Not, like I said, not that I police myself. I wonder if I don't know, it's like a battle, I guess. Like, I try to be a nicer person because I don't want to be the asshole I was. But yet sarcasm is sarcasm. So, like, where do you draw the line? Maybe you need to bring some of that sarcasm back a little bit more full force, if you will. I don't know. And then I'm like, well, how do I get myself back into that mode? Because I'm not really in that mode a lot. When I am, I think you guys can tell it, but like, that used to be like all the time. So it's like, how do I breathe again and not care. If those are the right words to say. Not that not care, but to understand that most people generally understand jokes are jokes and what's not. We got, are you ready for a Royals hat lot? Yeah. 10:50, headed up to Kansas City. I think that might be like my next step. Like mentally. Like everything's been so serious for so many years, taking care of my dad, even though I got my sarcasm from him. But when you're taking care of, a parent, you have more serious times than you have joking fun times because, they're older and they're struggling, if you will. So, like I've had so many years with a certain mindset of caring, extra responsibility type of thing. So you kind of put your own happiness and your own ways, I guess, on a back burner because the opportunities aren't there as much to be sarcastic. Is this making any sense? Like when you're cleaning up your dad's poo, he's already embarrassed to hell. So the last thing I want to do is make a joke that might embarrass him. But then I remember a couple of times when I did, he laughed about it. But I still then afterwards wondered if, he's a guy that always fended for himself pretty much. You don't want to degrade, somebody like that. Even though that's where I get the dumbass from. I always call myself a dumbass because all my life that's all he's ever called me was a dumbass. And I know it's probably in jest most of the time, but I remember in different times where, depending on the situation, it actually hurt my feelings. Depending on what was going on at that time, like if I tried to do something really well and then was called a dumbass because of it, as opposed to just being called a dumbass for doing something dumb. So I try to be more aware so I don't do that to him, just in case it would make him feel bad and then he dies sooner than he did, type of thing, right? So but I'm like telling myself, like, all bets are off now, The only one I'm taking care of right now, since Jan's stable, is Pee-wee, and he doesn't understand what I'm saying. He just knows the tone of the voice, so even if I say something sarcastic, if I say it in the right tone, he's still going to sit there and wag his tail. So I'm like, you just go back to being your normal self. It's kind of like a good at heart meets sarcasm meets it's easy for me to be mean. Just take all those and ball them up, and that's what you'll probably that's probably the true me. Like, I'll step over an ant so I don't kill it, but then I'll look at it, look down, and say, get out of my way, out of sarcasm. And that's kind of being mean too if it was a person. Even though you're being sarcastic, I guess. Maybe, not maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm all over the place again today. But that's all right. At least I'm here. Next up, we've got Toby Bayou, something Bay. Sold for $10. Headed to Corpus Christi, Texas. You're thinking fried chicken, aren't you, James? Hell yeah, my fat ass is thinking fried chicken. What do you think? Don't it look like I'm thinking chicken? Wait, hold on. Ready? Gotta push it out. Make it look bigger than it is. That's chicken belly, if you ask me, since I don't drink beer. What's bad is I use Pee-wee as part of the excuse not to get out and exercise if nobody's here. And now it's kind of been reassured when I thought I was past that. And I'm like, okay, Saturday, Jan's off. I'm like, we're going to go somewhere and do something. And now I'm like, well, should I go anywhere? So, it's a never-ending struggle. What is going on with this keyboard today? Like the one's not taken. Take my one. You didn't take my one. What is going on with this one? Nope. Why is my one not working properly, please? What is dirty ass keyboard? Don't you ever wash your hands? Don't look like it if you look at that keyboard. That's the thing about sarcasm with me, like, I can do it to myself too. Growing up with the friends I grew up with, like, if we didn't have sarcasm with you and roast you, that means we didn't like you. Because if we didn't like you, we didn't give you the time of day. Next up, we've got Cursed. CD sold for $7. No, wrong spot. Well, same price though. $7, headed to Colorado. Like, get back to that, James. Just be more, just get back to that, but be more aware of the situation at hand that you're taking sarcasm with. If it's just a common blah, blah, blah situation, then whatever. But if it's somebody truly having a problem or an issue, take light of that subject and let your heart take over. And then my heart says, stab them in the neck. Oh, sorry. Put them out of their misery. That was sarcasm. And next up, we got Waylon Jennings. The one I got pictured does not have prices on it, so I guess I'll have to pull those off or change the case. Let's just change the case. That's a whole lot freaking easier. That case is good. Somebody left me negative feedback. Like with Digipacks, not this one because it's a pretty thick one, but the thinner ones or the slip covers. We'll take one of these broken cases or a tray and rubber band it to it so it stays stable in the mailer. They left negative feedback because there was a broken case rubber band around their item. I'm like, Really? I sent him an email trying to explain to him what that was. Like, the broken case wasn't part of your order. It was there to give stability to the item so it didn't break in the mail. And they didn't respond back, of course. Anyway, Whale and Jenny sold for $7 headed to Nebraska. And of course, guess how many feedback they had? 2. One of them would have been mine. So those under 10 feedback people, man, or under 20 or under 25, those are the problem childs when it comes to weird feedback. JOSIH. But I don't worry about that stuff anymore. I just try to give a nice professional response so that any future buyers are not discouraged by the feedback. We got Superman the movie on VHS, sold for $10, headed to Connecticut. Connecticut Energy. Connecticut Energy. Baby girl, you okay? You're a little all over. You all right? You all right? Next up, we got Victoria. And I accidentally took an offer on this cheaper than I thought. It was $6.50, but it said $6.20. Wah, wah, wah. Headed to Michigan. So that means I'm only making like 75 cents profit on this. Which I guess still is okay to move product. At least I didn't lose money. Lose money. Lose money. At least you did lose money, Victoria. Victoria. Wonder if she's got a secret. Stay. Next up, we've got. Oh, I'm gonna move this and everything's gonna fall. I didn't realize it was leaning on that as I was stacking. Stay, broken stuff. There we go. We got some BMW Motorsport shoes. These usually sell pretty well, and I usually sell them pretty quick. These have been in the store for a little bit and never even got an offer on it till today, so I took them. $20. These are usually $40 or higher. So, and people are like, why do you put shoes in a poly bag? I'm like, well, first off, the shoes are pre-owned in the first place. Second off, you walk on shoes. If they can't survive a poly bag in the mail, then you know what? You shouldn't be selling those shoes. That's the way I look at it. You shouldn't be selling them if they can't survive the mail in a poly bag. Especially if you put them like tightly knit together and they're almost like a brick. Almost like a brick. Cause she's a brick house. Bum, 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 bum. She's a brick house. ETF on me finger. That's wrong, James. When I said get off my finger, my first thought was, that's what I had to tell her. That's just wrong. You're so dirty. Stop it. So dirty. Standard shipping. $7.96 or $4.02. We're going $4.02. Ground Advantage just saved a lot of money on bigger stuff, hasn't it? Like these shoes on pre-order would be $8. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't type in the right. I didn't put in the pounds. Scratch that. Still saving money. $2. Saving $2.09. So still saving some money. Just too bad they'll probably take 30 days to get there, if they get there at all. With the ass backwards, screwed up USPS. They should start a new promo like, USPS, we deliver for you. Maybe. Next up, Rush, Exit Stage Left CD. Sold for $7. Headed to Florida. Four. I haven't had a Florida trip in too long. I need a Florida trip. Paul. I want to drive the bridge to Key West. I want to do that at least once. Next up, I've got a few left of my shock drop of 20 shipper cards before they come out June 1st. Sold 2. I mailed 2 off today, earlier. And now this one's going to Michigan. So thank you, David, if you're a viewer of my channel. I appreciate that. The shipper. They call her the shipper. I already know what that's going to be. So David. Airborne. Baseball cap. Sold for $6. Headed to Madison, Alabama. These boxes were glued weird. Hopefully they don't come apart in shipping. All right. 7, nope, 6. Take it down more. Robert. Take it down, James. Take it down more. Next up, Case. IH farming hat. Sold for $10.50. Headed to New Mexico. Hey, there's New Mexico. This is one of the brands that you can't sell on Amazon or Bonanza anymore. So I'm glad I dumped Bonanza, man. After they added you got to pay an extra $2 per item if you don't use their shipping. I'm like, you know what? You guys are a pain in the butt website as it is. It's not like you sell a crap load of stuff on there anyway. You know what? I'm leaving. Because like brands like this, like Commonwealth is going through it now with New Era. Like, no, you can no longer sell New Era on Bonanza. Why did they falter when they could use the First Doctrine like eBay does? But they falter to every brand that says, do not sell our items. No, this is America. You can sell these items. Rocky. And we're not talking new items. We're talking pre-owned items. They're not legally allowed to do that, from what I understand with the law anyway. But I'm not a lawyer. 24-hour fitness hat. Sold for $10.50. Headed to California. San Fran. I mean, there's something still open in California. 24-hour fitnesses are still there. Or maybe somebody's getting it because they all closed down and they want to reminisce. I'm just making jokes. Because you see how bad San Francisco is these days. compared to what it used to be, I guess. But I don't know. I've never been there. But personally, I have no idea. Making a joke off what I see. Kind of like when I look in the mirror. And I make sexy jokes because you are sexy and they ain't no joke. That's real life. I'm a sexy mofo. Oh, sorry. Toby Mac tonight. CD sold for $6.30, headed to $6.30. Ah, that's when I do the 10% off. Offer to watcher. Headed to South Dakota. We will go ahead and put up. Oh, not that one. That one's pretty. Give me just a normal one. Hopefully they won't leave me negative feedback because they have a case with a rubber band around it. People are strange when you're a stranger. Elijah. E-L-I-J-A-H. Elijah. Boink. And the last one for US is Bob James and David Sanborn on vinyl. Sold for $7, headed to New Jersey. Dun, 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 dun. You okay? Okay. He just moved. Laying in a different spot. Terrence. Review purchases. Confirm and pay. Are you going to work today? Thank you. I was afraid we wasn't going to be able to do postage because people were complaining they can't today at different times. So I'm like, thought I was going to get it too. He's learned a new word, so I'll see if he knows it, if he comprehends it at the end of this video. It's the R-E-A-D-Y. When I say that down here, he knows. They both know it's time to go up. So I'm going to see if he reacts to it. Because that's a newer word he's kind of just started to react to, so. That's his latest reaction word that he's picked up. I definitely got to get him cleaned up. I've got him wiped down and stuff pretty good, but with some cleaning, some lavender wipes. And needs a nice shampoo scrubbing. Shampoo scrubbing. I was like, hey, what's going on here? Set that one up like that. How about that? Victoria. John. Nick. Don't you fall on me. You don't fall until I tell you to fall. Belinda. Whoops, you need resurfaced. What? Edward. That's how I knew when I was on my mom's bad side. Edward. James Edward. But Mom, I didn't mean to take the tire off the rim of my bike, put the rim back on, and tear up the whole yard. We had fun that day, though. Got into trouble, but it was fun. Took the tire off the rim, put the rim back on the bike, rode the bike around the yard and tore up the yard. Memories. All right, we'll save the international for later. Let's see if he reacts. You guys ready? You ready to go? Kids ready? I guess he's not there yet. No, he's like out. So he may not be hearing me. You ready, Pee-wee? He's out. I have to get his attention. All right. I ain't going to leave him down here because I won't be able to hear him. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.